national team. What's the feeling for those three?
Haven't really talked to them. Obviously, Clint's always an obvious one, but Brad right now, still needs to get 100% healthy, and it's a good honor for DeAndre. But as a club to have three guys representing your club with the national team in a game against Mexico is a nice honor.
What do you think the logistics would be like in terms of their availability to you?
The game's a Wednesday game, so they'll be available for the Columbus game, with the exception of Clint, and then they'll be available for the game against Portland. Again, it's always a function of how many minutes they play on the Wednesday night. At least the travel is not a major issue, so that makes it easier, and they stay in the same time zone. Approximate is Arizona ahead an hour? But roughly they're in the same time zone, so that makes it a lot easier.
Yedlin's called in again. Is it you feel like that's good for his development to be getting these calls for the national team?
Well, that's a question you got to ask Jurgen as well. His development, I think, every time you get an opportunity, it's a big plus, and you gain a little more confidence in yourself as a player. Right now the national team situation at outside back, is a little bit cloudy. I know with Cherundolo's retirement, with Chandler being injured, so I think he's got to look at different options that he has back there.
So do you, obviously it is a Jurgen question, but do you have a sense that Yedlin is at least in the conversation for World Cup Brazil?
Well, he's probably in the 40-man pool. Whether he gets into the final pool, I'm not sure.
You mentioned Brad South. How's he kind of doing?
Good. He did more today at practice and less painful, so he's progressed, along. And we'll see how he is right now for Columbus. I think he has a good shot at being able to play in the Columbus game, but not sure.
Last week when you were asked about Lamar, you said he hadn't been playing his best. It looked like a better game from him Sunday, what you saw? The goal, obviously. But
yeah, people score a goal, then if they had a better game. But I think, it's with anything. Lamar's always been a better gamer than he is a practice player. And, I think getting the goal helped his confidence. I thought he was a little more dangerous. He was unlucky, with the shot that he hit off the post. But he'll continue to grow.
What do you think of his defensive work, and I guess of Cooper as well, coming back and defending in that game?
Yeah, we wanted to defend a certain way, and we wanted to try and get after them with the counter, which worked pretty much the way we expected it to work, especially in the first half. In the second half, I think that Montreal did a better job of throwing even their outside backs maybe a little more forward, and so they started fatiguing our wide guys. But when Azira came on and Leo came on, I thought we got a hold of that again. But they put in a lot of work, and we asked them to play more of a 4-3-3, with a triangle in the middle of midfield, and that central guy dropping in a little bit in the midfield as well to help us defend, and the guys responded well to it.
Could you talk a little bit about those three subs, each kind of making either their first appearance of the season or something? What you think of Leo and the others?
I thought they were good. Azira, we know he's a midfielder, central midfielder, but he's shown that he can play on the outside, and he came in and played wide right for us and helped DeAndre on that side of the field. I thought he was solid. Leo, we used him at times in prior seasons as a late sub, sometimes when he was a sub, to help close out games for us on the left-hand side. He did that very well. And then, the choice of Weaver at the end was, he's an experienced player, who's had to, figure out a way to get games across the end line before, and, he helped us do that.
How much of the decision to change the shape-up was because it was Montreal, and how much was due to the personnel that you had available?
It was a little bit of both. It was us because of the personnel we had available, and we just felt that, based upon what we had seen from Montreal and them playing a triangle in the middle of midfield, that was the best way for us to go in that particular game.
Is Columbus similar in that way?
No, I think a lot. They're similar a little bit, but they're different as well. And their outside backs really go. So.
Steve Clark, the goalkeeper, was a guy that I guess you guys kind of had on your discovery list or something like that. You signed him and traded him. Can you maybe take us back to kind of what happened there, and maybe if you guys had interest in Steve and how that worked out?
He was a goalkeeper that we looked at. We knew he was playing in Norway. Tommy went over and watched him play as well, and so we had him on our discovery list. We were in the process of trying to see what we were doing in goal, and we hadn't yet completed anything with Fry, and And so there were a number of balls in the air at the same time. So and Steve was one of the goalkeepers that we were definitely looking at. And then as things turned out, Columbus had an interest. Our situation resolved itself with Fry, so we were able to move forward in that direction, and we were able to make a trade with Columbus.
Does obviously the snow day, the postponement pushed everything back a little bit? Is this a time of season where losing one training day before Columbus has any impact at all?
No, not really. It's just a rhythm, from the guys, because we try and give them a schedule, and so so guys expected today to be a day off, Tuesday to be a training day. We felt it was better just because of the travel and everything to change that around a little bit. So that made it a little bit awkward. But no, I think we have enough training days to get ready.
Talk about what this team's done defensively through the first three with 2 shutouts.
I think we've defended as a team, and guys have put themselves on the line, sacrificed their bodies at times, as Jimmy did, saving the ball off the line, and that's part of what you need to do. But I think as a team we've done a better job in terms of our team defending and making it a little more difficult. Possession in and of by itself doesn't lead to goals. It depends where the other team has possession, and I think we've kept possession away from the middle of the goal for the most part. The Toronto game, we allowed them to slip balls in behind and through quickly on mistakes where we played the ball, and on one where it was a turnover and they played the ball forward quickly. So we want to make sure we stay tight in the middle, and we've done that in the other 2 games.
Jimmy was the captain this week. Went into that decision?
Not a whole lot. No, don't want to make it sound like that, but obviously, Evans was injured, Clint wasn't eligible, Ozzy, would prefer not to wear the band in the game, so we felt that Jimmy was the logical choice, and he spoke French.
Do you draw up more plays to get him bicycle kicks now after that effort?
Yeah, we're going to have a corner kick play, and Oba said just play the ball to him. He'll flick it up to Jimmy, and Jimmy will get ready for the bike. But but at his age, you can only do so many of those. So it's like one every 2 games, he says, no more.